Snow fell like white dust from the dark sky. The wind screamed across the frozen land. The planet was cold, dead, and silent. No trees, no animals, no cities, just ice. And silence. But then, something strange happened. A small beep echoed inside. The helmet of Jack Monroe, a human engineer from Earth. He had landed on this alien planet 2 days ago to search for minerals. His scanners showed nothing special. Just rocks, snow, and ice. But now, a signal. A weak one. Jack stopped walking. He stared at the blinking red light on his wrist device. The signal was old, weak, and full of static. Strange, he whispered. There's no one here. Who's sending this? Jack looked around. Nothing. Only white hills and frozen caves in the distance. He tapped the signal. It was coming from the mountains, about 2 kilometers north. He thought for a moment. Then, he turned and walked toward it. The wind hit harder as he climbed. Ice crunched under his boots. His breath fogged up his visor. Every few minutes, the signal blinked again. Beep. Beep. Then, after half an hour, he found it. A cave, wide and dark. The signal was coming from deep inside. He paused at the entrance. His light barely showed the first few steps inside. The air felt colder here. Strange symbols were carved into the cave walls. Alien symbols. Jack's heart beat faster. He slowly stepped inside. The light on his suit showed more markings, broken tech parts, and old wires. It looked like someone had built a shelter here. Long ago. He moved deeper. Then he heard it. A voice, soft, broken, not human. Double quote. Please. Jack froze. His hand moved to his sidearm just in case. Who's there? He called. No answer. Walked slowly, step by step. His light found something moving. Hiding behind a rock. He raised his hand. It's okay. I'm not here to hurt you. Out from the dark stepped a tall, thin figure, not human, but not scary either. She had gray-blue skin, glowing green eyes, and strange markings on her arms. She looked weak, tired, injured. Behind her, 2 small figures peeked out. Children. The woman spoke again, her voice shaking. Please, don't leave. My children, they need help. Jack blinked. He wasn't sure what he was seeing. You're not supposed to be here, he said. This planet is empty, dead. The alien woman shook her head. We were left behind. She looked down, holding her side. There was blood on her ribs, dark purple blood. My name is A, she said slowly. I was part of a scout ship. We crashed here years ago. Jack looked around. He saw broken alien tech, shattered weapons, old food packs. Why didn't they come back for you? They thought I was weak, she said. I was injured and had just given birth. They left me to die. Jack looked at the 2 children. Hiding behind her legs, their eyes were big and bright. One held a small toy made from rock. I've been hiding here, she said. Keeping them safe, but I'm tired. I can't protect them much longer. Jack felt something heavy in his chest. He looked at the kids again. They were shivering, hungry, scared. He looked at A. Why didn't you send a signal? I did, she said. I've been sending it every day, hoping someone would hear. No one ever came. Jack shook his head. I barely caught it. It's so weak. I almost ignored it. She stepped closer. But you came. You found us. You are human, strong. You have tools. You can help. Jack looked back at the cave entrance. Outside, the wind howled louder. Snow blew in thick waves. A storm was coming. He checked his scanner. It would last 3 days. He couldn't leave now, even if he wanted to. I can help. For a few days, he said. But after that, I need to get back to my ship. A nodded slowly. Thank you. She sat down, weak and cold. Jack gave her a heat pad and wrapped a thermal blanket around the kid's dot. As the fire crackled and warmth filled the cave, Jack sat down across from her, looked at him. You are not like others. You listened. You came. Jack looked into the fire. He didn't know why, but he felt like he was meant to find them. But just as he began to relax, a sound came from deep inside the cave. A strange sound, clicking, moving, like metal claws on stone. Us face went pale. They found us. Jack stood up quickly. Who? She whispered. The ones that hunt us in the dark. Asterisk, a metal claw scratched the stone. Jack froze. Sound echoed from the back of the cave, slow, steady, and getting closer. The alien mother quickly pulled her children behind her. Her hands shook. Jack raised his flashlight and looked into the darkness. Nothing. Just silence. Then dash, click, click, click. What is that? He whispered. A answered without looking at him. A hunter. Not alive, not dead. Made of metal. It smells fear. Jack stepped forward. You have weapons? No, she said. I used them all. Years ago. The sound came closer. Jack reached into his pack and pulled out a flare. He lit it. Whoosh! A red flame lit up the cave, and then he saw it. Something crawled along the wall, long, thin, with too many legs. Its eyes glowed like small red lights. Its body was part machine, part bone. The creature hissed. Jack threw the flare. The sudden light burned the creature's face. It screamed and crawled back into the dark. Stay here, Jack said. He pulled out a small pulse pistol and ran to the tunnel entrance. He fired one shot into the dark. The sound echoed through the cave. The creature hissed again, then disappeared. Silence. Jack waited. Nothing moved. No sound. He returned to Anne, the children. It's gone, for now. She looked at him with wide eyes. You saved us. Jack sat down, breathing hard. What the hell was that? She whispered. A drone. Old tech from my world. Programmed to remove the weak. I was marked as weak because I chose to raise my children instead of fighting in war. Jack stared at her. They set machines to kill mothers? Yes, she said. My people fear emotion. Love is seen as a disease. Jack looked at her in disbelief. That's insane. She didn't answer. She just held her kids tighter. After a moment, Jack spoke again. Tell me what happened. Anne nodded. Her voice was low, like telling a secret. My people came here in a warship, looking for power in the ice. But we were attacked. My ship crashed. Only a few survived. I was wounded. I had just given birth. The commander said I would slow them down, so they left, took supplies, took weapons, left me with scraps. And my babies, Jack clenched his jaw. They left you to die. Yes, she said. I stayed in this cave, hid, learned to survive. Sent the same signal every day, no answer. Until now. Jack looked at the two children. They were sleeping, close together, their small faces peaceful in the firelight. How long have you been alone? He asked. 5 years, she said, in your time. Jack rubbed his face. 5 years, alone, with kids, on a dead planet. You're strong, he said. She looked at him with tired eyes. No, just a mother. Jack stood up and checked his scanner. The storm outside was getting worse. Wind speed rising. No chance of getting back to his ship for at least 2 days. He looked back at her. You still have food? Only for 1 more day, she said. Jack opened his pack. I have rations. We'll make it work. I smiled softly for the first time. That night, they shared food and warmth. Jack told her about Earth, about oceans, trees, cities, and families. She listened like it was a dream. He looked at her. Why did you say, you need me? She hesitated, then answered, my children, they are half soldiers by blood. But I don't want them to grow like my people, cold, empty. I want them to learn kindness, protection, family. She looked at him with hope. You are different. You care. You protect. I watched you with them. Jack didn't speak. The fire crackled. I cannot do this alone anymore, she said. Be their protector. Be my partner. Not in blood, but in spirit. Please. Jack looked at the fire. Then at her. He wasn't sure what this was. But deep inside, he knew something had changed. This mission wasn't just about rocks anymore. Thought it was about them. He nodded slowly. I'll help. I'll protect them. A smiled again. But this time, it reached her eyes. Then suddenly, beep beep. Jack's wrist communicator blinked. A message. From Earth. He opened it. Leave now. You are forbidden to help alien species. You have 24 hours to return to orbit. Do not interfere. Jack stared at the words. I saw his face change. What is it? He didn't answer. He looked at her. Then he looked at the sleeping children. His heart was no longer with Earth. The cave was quiet. Too quiet. Not even the wind howled now. Jack sat near the fire, but he couldn't rest. The message from Earth repeated in his mind. Leave now. You are forbidden to help alien species. But his eyes kept drifting to the two small children sleeping near him, wrapped in blankets, breathing softly. He looked at A. She wasn't asleep either. She was sharpening a piece of metal, turning it into a knife. Why are you doing that? Jack asked quietly. She didn't look up. Because the real hunters don't make noise when they come. Jack's hand moved to his pulse pistol. He didn't like the sound of that. Then something moved. Not outside. Inside the cave, a cold chill ran through Jack's body. He stood slowly. Did you hear that? He whispered. I nodded. Her eyes were already locked on the darkness beyond the firelight. The children woke up. They felt it. Jack picked up his flashlight and stepped closer to the wall. The shadows moved. Or maybe something was moving in the shadows. Suddenly, crack. A piece of the cave wall broke off and hit the floor. The sound echoed loudly. Then, click, click, click. That horrible sound again. Claws on stone, but this time, not just one. Many. Jack spun around. They're inside. I pushed the children behind a rock and grabbed her knife. From the far tunnel, shapes began to appear. Crawling. Fast. Metal limbs. Sharp legs. Glowing red eyes. Not one. Not two. 4 of them. Run! Jack shouted. To the deeper tunnel. He fired 2 shots. The first hit a drone's leg. Sparks flew. The creature screamed but kept crawling. The second shot missed. They were fast. Too fast. I led the children through a narrow tunnel while Jack covered them. He grabbed a flare and threw it. FWOO. Light filled the room, making the drone stop for a second. That was enough. Jack followed them into the narrow path. The tunnel twisted and dropped down into a hidden chamber. They stopped. Everyone was breathing hard. The kids were crying quietly. I held them close. Jack looked around. The space was tight, but there were old supplies here, metal parts, cables, broken screens. Is this your backup shelter? He asked. I nodded. Yes, I come here when they hunt too close. Jack paced the room. We can't just keep hiding. They'll find this place. I know, she said. He stopped and looked at her. There's no help coming, he said. Earth told me to leave. They don't care. She looked at him. Will you leave? She asked. Jack didn't answer right away. Then he sat down, pulled out a small tool set, and began fixing an old energy cell. No, he said. I'm not leaving anyone behind. A says filled with something strange, not sadness, not fear. Hope. Suddenly, the walls shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Loud thump. Thump, thump. Jack jumped up. What now? A grabbed a scanner. Her face turned pale. They're trying to dig through the wall. Jack looked at the metal around him. Then we fight. He opened his pack and pulled out old tech. Wires and 3 small explosive charges. You're an engineer, she said. Yep, Jack replied. And today I'm going to build us a trap. They worked fast. Jack used the explosives to rig the entrance. Placed noise devices to confuse the drones. They placed metal shards in the path to slow them down. Then they waited. The wall cracked. A hole opened, and the first drone pushed through. Jack hit the trigger. Boom! The blast threw rocks everywhere. One drone was torn apart, but two others made it through. A jumped forward and stabbed one in the eye. The drone screeched. Jack fired at the second. His last shot hit the power core. It exploded in a flash of blue light. Silence. Dust filled the air. Jack coughed and stood up. Only one drone was left, crawling, broken, but still alive. It looked at Jack and spoke in a metallic voice. Human, you are now marked. You have chosen the weak. You will be hunted. Jack raised a metal pipe and crushed its head. I've been hunted before, he muttered. He turned to and the kids. Everyone was safe, but the war had just begun. Jack couldn't sleep, even with the fire warm and the children safe. His mind was loud. He sat at the cave entrance, staring at the frozen stars above. His wrist device blinked softly. A new message had arrived from Earth Command. He didn't want to read it. He already knew what it would say. But he opened it anyway. Final warning. Leave the alien zone within 12 hours. You are in violation of the Human Protection Act. Refusal will be marked as desertion. Jack laughed softly, not because it was funny, but because it was insane. He had survived war zones. He had followed every order in his life, but now, the people he served wanted him to walk away from a mother and her children, because they weren't human. Behind him, A quietly stepped closer. She didn't say anything. She just stood beside him. I got another message, Jack said. I heard the sound, she replied. Your device always beeps when the humans give you rules. Jack looked at her. They're not rules, they're chains. She sat down next to him. The humans. Do they hate all aliens? She asked. Jack shook his head. No, but they fear what they don't understand. She looked up at the stars. My people are the same. That's why they left me. I chose love. They chose strength. She turned to face him. What will you choose, Jack? Jack didn't answer. He was still thinking. He looked back into the cave. The two children were drawing pictures on the wall with old chalk. One had drawn a tall figure with a glowing hand. The child pointed at the drawing and said, Dahu. I smiled. They call you that now. It means protector, father. Jack swallowed. He hadn't asked for this. He didn't come to this planet to play family. But something inside him changed the moment he saw those kids. Something woke up. He stood up and walked to the signal device he had been hiding. It was old Earth tech, able to send emergency beacons. He stared at it. He could push one button and a rescue team would arrive. They'd take him home, but they'd leave and if she resisted, they'd end her. The kids. They'd be studied, locked away. Maybe worse. He gripped the device tight. Then he did something he never thought he'd do. He smashed it on the fata. Ground. The metal cracked. Sparks flew. I gasped. Jack. That was your only way home. He turned to her, eyes steady. I'm not going home, he said. I'm already where I need to be. She stepped forward slowly. You really mean that? He nodded. I'll stay. I'll protect you. I'll raise them like my own. I don't care what Earth says. Tears filled her eyes, but she smiled through them. You have made a dangerous choice, she whispered. Jack smiled back. Sometimes the right choice is the dangerous one. But the moment was broken by a loud boom in the sky. They both looked up. A ship, Earth colors. It wasn't landing. It was watching from above. A voice echoed through the cave from Jack's broken communicator. Jack Monroe, you have broken protocol. You are now marked as rogue. You are no longer a citizen of Earth. Jack picked up the cracked device and shouted back, "Then Earth can go to hell." A strange silence followed. Then the ship disappeared. Into the clouds, I touched Jack's arm. "They'll come back. Stronger, angrier." "I'll be ready," Jack said. He turned to the children. They looked at him with wide eyes, trusting, brave. He knelt down. "Listen to me," he said. "I'm not just here to help. I'm here to stay." The older child reached out and took Jack's hand. I watched them. For the first time in years. She wasn't alone. She had a partner. Her children had a father, but far above the planet. Earth Command sent out a secret order. If the human sides with the alien bloodline, erase him. And erase them all. The child was coughing. Hard. His small chest moved up and down as he lay wrapped in a blanket. His skin looked pale, and his hands were cold. Jack placed a hand on the boy's forehead. "Too hot. He has a fever," Jack said. "He needs real food, real medicine." I sat close, worry in her eyes. "I gave him the last herb pack yesterday. We have nothing left." Jack stood and checked his gear. "There's only one choice now," he said. "We hunt." A looked up. "Together?" Jack nodded. "I don't know these lands, but I can track. You know the animals." "We go together." She paused. Then slowly stood up. "It is dangerous," she said. "The beasts out there are not kind." Jack looked toward the mouth of the cave. "I'm not hunting for sport," he said. "I'm hunting for my son." I blinked. That word, son, hit deep. For the first time, she didn't feel like she was just asking for help. She had a partner now. Snow crunched beneath their feet. Jack and A moved carefully through the valley. Jack wore a cloak made from thermal cloth. A carried a spear she carved from old drone parts. Above them, white skies stretched forever. Cold winds blew hard. The planet was quiet, but something always watched. "This way," A said, pointing toward a ridge. They climbed. Slowly. Suddenly, crack. The snow beneath Jack's foot collapsed. He grabbed a rock and held himself up. I reached down and pulled him up fast. "You have to listen to the ground," she said. "The snow hides pits," Jack nodded. "Got it." They kept going. Hours passed. No signs of animals. No tracks. No heat signatures. Then Jack spotted something in the snow. Deep, wide marks, like something had slid across the ground. "What made that?" he asked. A crouched. Her eyes narrowed. "Sky burrower," she said. "Big, fast, strong armor, if we catch it. It can feed us for a week." Jack grinned. "Let's do it." A didn't smile back. "They are deadly," she said. "They dig under snow. Wait, then strike." Jack adjusted his pulse pistol. "Then we dig smarter." They followed the tracks to a narrow clearing. Surrounded by sharp ice walls, Jack looked around and placed 2 old sound grenades in the snow. "This will confuse it. Make it think it's surrounded." I placed scent markers from her pouch. Then they waited. Minutes passed. Wind blew. Silence. Then the ground shook. Thump. 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 Snow exploded upward. A huge white-scaled creature burst from the ground, with 4 clawed arms and a mouth full of long black teeth. The sky burrower screamed. Jack fired his pistol. The shot bounced off its thick armor. It lunged toward him. It leaped from the side and stabbed her spear into its eye. The creature roared in pain. Jack rolled, pulled a flare, and jammed it into the second eye. FSS, SSH. The light blinded it. The creature thrashed wildly. Then Jack found its soft spot, a weak joint near the leg. He fired again. Boom! The creature collapsed, breathing heavy. Still. Dead. Back at the cave, the children waited. The younger one kept close to his sick brother, holding his hand. The fire was low. Then footsteps. Jack entered, dragging the large meat sack behind him. A followed with herbs and plant roots in her pack. The children gasped. "You hunted a sky burrower?" The girl whispered. Jack smiled. Your mom stabbed it in the face. The sick boy coughed and opened his eyes slightly. Jack knelt beside him and placed the warm cooked meat in his hand. Eat slowly, he said. You're going to be okay. A gave the healing roots and began crushing herbs for tea. The warmth, the food, the medicine. It began to work. That night, Jack sat by the fire, watching the kids sleep peacefully. A sat beside him. She looked stronger now. You hunted like one of us, she said. Jack smirked. You mean I almost died like one of you? She smiled. Yes. Then she grew quiet. I never thought I would feel safe again, she said. Jack looked at her. I never thought I'd care this much again. A moment passed, then Anna leaned, her head on his shoulder. They said nothing, but nothing needed to be said. Far above the cave, hidden behind a mountain, a drone watched. Its red eye blinked once, then it sent a silent message through space. The human and the mother are building a nest. Requesting orders. A reply came seconds later. Destroy it. Burn everything. Asterisk. They came in silence. No engines. No light. A ship slipped through the clouds like a ghost. Its skin was dark silver. Its wings curved like blades. Its symbol, a black spiral, marked the hull. The ship didn't land near the cave. It hovered over the valley. Watching. Inside, masked figures stood in armor, no emotion, no warmth. One of them spoke. She has broken the law. The half-bloods must be taken. The human must be erased. The ship began its slow descent. Back in the cave, the children were laughing for the first time. Jack sat on the floor, showing them how to carve small wooden animals. The boy held a tiny dog figure and smiled. This is from Earth? He asked. Jack nodded. Dogs are small, loud, and loyal, just like you. The children giggled. A stirred soup over the fire. She watched the moment like a dream, a warm home, a kind man. Happy children. Then, her smile faded. She felt it, a sharp pain in her chest. She stood quickly. Jack noticed. What is it? Ace's eyes narrowed. They're here. Jack stood up fast. Who? She whispered. My people. Jack's body tensed. You mean your actual people, like your race? A nodded. I feel them in the sky. I'm still linked. All mothers are. Jack grabbed his weapon. Are they here to help you? No, she said softly. They are here to take the children. The ship landed near the old crash site, silent and clean. The armored figures stepped out. Their faces were hidden behind silver masks. One of them, taller than the others, held a long staff with glowing rings. His voice came through a voice box, flat, cold. She was warned. She chose weakness. Now she will face judgment. Back in the cave, Jack was loading gear into a pack. We need to move. No. I said. They will find us anywhere. They have the children's scent. Jack looked at her. Then we fight. I turned to him. Her voice was calm, but full of fear. You don't understand. These are not drones. These are elite warriors. I trained with them. I bled beside them. I know how they fight. Jack stared at her. Then you know how to beat them. She looked at her children. Then nodded. Double quotes. Yes, but not alone. Outside the cave, the masked warriors approached slowly. One of them held a device that blinked green. They are below, he said. Ready the memory gas. Take the children first. Inside the cave, Jack placed small explosives on the wall. If they try to take us, they'll get fire first. A painted symbols on her arms, not for war, but for protection. Her people used these in ancient times when mothers fought. To defend young ones. She looked at Jack. If I die, promise me you'll take them somewhere safe. Jack looked her in the eyes. No, we don't run, not this time. A sudden voice echoed through a speaker outside. Of the Shadow Moon. You are ordered to surrender the half-blood children. The human has corrupted them. We will take them and erase their memory. You will be given a quiet death. Jack laughed. They're so polite. A didn't smile. She stepped forward, stood at the cave mouth, and shouted, "These are my children. This human is their father. If you want them, you will bleed for them." Silence. Then the enemy fired a gas canister into the cave. Jack kicked it back out just in time. Boom. A fight began. 3 warriors rushed the entrance. Jack fired his pulse weapon, hitting one in the shoulder. A moved like a shadow, cutting the leg of another with a curved blade. The 3rd warrior grabbed Jack. But the older child threw a rock, distracting him, just long enough for Jack to break free and slam him into the cave wall. The family fought together, and they won. The remaining warriors fell back. The tall leader spoke again. "You made your choice. You are no longer one of us the next time we come. We will not ask." He pressed a button. The warriors vanished into beams of light. The ship rose into the clouds and disappeared. That night, the cave was quiet again, but it wasn't peaceful. Jack sat by the fire, watching the children sleep. A sat beside him. "They will come again," she said. "I know," Jack said. "Let them come." She looked at him. "You gave up your world. Your people, for us." Jack nodded. "Family. Comey's first." She leaned her head on his shoulder again. This time, not out of fear, but love. 10 years later. The wind still howled across the ice plains. The stars still shone cold above. But the cave was no longer a cave. It was a home. A house built into stone and steel, with heat coils, light panels, and a garden warmed by underground water. Strange alien plants grew beside earth potatoes. Wind turbines spun slowly on the cliffs. Inside, laughter echoed. 2 young aliens, now teenagers, trained with long staffs, their movements fast and sharp. They wore armor made from scavenged drone parts and markings on their arms that told of both bloodlines, human and alien. A man stood nearby watching, older now, beard thicker, eyes sharper. It was Jack. No longer a lost engineer. No longer just a protector. He was now a father, and he had built something stronger than a base. Stronger than a shelter. He had built a legacy. Inside, a placed hot tea on the table. She looked outside at the children, now warriors in their own right. "They're ready," she said. Jack nodded. "They're better than I ever was." She looked at him, "because they had both of us." He smiled, but the smile didn't last, because in the distance, the sky turned black. Far above, in orbit, a new ship arrived, twice the size of the last one. Sleek, silent, deadly. Inside were not just warriors. This time, there were judges, and a new message was sent. The half-bloods are growing, strong, rebellious. The human has made them dangerous. End them now, before they spread. Jack heard the sound in the sky, a low hum, like thunder rolling through metal. He stepped outside. His children joined him, one on each side, their back. His son said, "Let them come," Jack replied. A walked beside them. "We stand as one." The ship landed hard. Dust and snow flew everywhere. 15 armored warriors stepped out. Behind them, a tall, pale alien with 6 glowing rings on his chest. A genetic judge from Azaz people. He raised his hand. "You were warned," he said. "You chose a human. You raised weapons. You trained children born of Forbidden's blood." Jack stepped forward. "They're not Forbidden's. They're family." The judge looked down at him. "You have made a mistake. Human. These children should never have existed." Jack smiled coldly. "You said the same about love, about kindness, about mothers, about fathers." He raised his hand. 2 more people stepped out of the cave, friends. They had helped over the years, survivors, mixed families, refugees. The world had changed while the warriors were busy watching. Cave was not just a home now. It was a village, and more were coming. The judge turned to his warriors. "Wipe them out." But just as they moved forward, Jack's daughter stepped up. She raised her staff and slammed it into the ground. Boom. A shockwave of energy burst out. She had learned to merge Earth tech with alien skill. The ground cracked. The nearest warriors fell back. The sun jumped in next. Using speed and agility Jack had taught him, mixed with Ah's precision, Jack and A moved as one, defending their people. The battle was fierce, but this time they weren't hiding. They were protecting something worth more than survival. They were fighting for the future. At last, the judge was the only one standing. He looked around. His warriors were defeated. His ship damaged. He stared at the children, breathing hard. "You don't understand," he said. "If others see you, they will want to be like you, and then the old ways will die." Jack stepped forward, bruised but unbroken. "Then, let them die." The judge stared at him for a long moment. Then, he stepped back and vanished into the ship. As it rose into the sky, no threats were given, only silence. That night the stars were calm. Inside the warm home, the family sat together. Amos rested her hand on Jack's. The daughter sharpened her blade. The sun cleaned old books Jack had saved from Earth. A mix of two worlds. Balanced, whole. Jack looked around the room and spoke softly. "I was sent here to collect rocks. I found something better." The boy smiled. "You found us." Jack nodded. "And now others will come. They'll need guidance. A place to start fresh." I asked, "What will you call this place?" Jack looked up at the sky. Then back at his family. "Home." Asterisk in deep space. A hidden species watched the recordings. They saw the children, the weapons, the human. One alien turned to another and said, "This human created something new." "Yes," the other replied. "And now, the galaxy will never be the same."